Hi, welcome to the Crafts channel. My name's Corinne Brad and I've got a project to show you today that in all honesty may go horribly, horribly wrong. But it may go really, really well. It's a pop-up box card. So quite simply, you pull it out of the envelope and it pops up. And then with a bit of adjustment, you have a three-dimensional greeting. I'll put it there against the white background. And it works with the magic of a rubber band. Now these have been sat for a while in the box, but they do, as I say, they make quite a nice little, a change from a normal card that you would just open and put on the mantelpiece. So I'm going to show you how easy they are to make. Well, I'm going to try and show you how easy they are to make. They are easy, but it's one of those things, it's a little bit fiddly, and we could cut and edit and make it look incredibly easy, but we don't like to do things like that. So there'll be a template in the description below so that you can draw your own one out. Now, because I am foolish, I haven't bought any 12 by 12 plain card with me, but you can fit both pieces of the template on a piece of 12 by 12. But when you come to make the card, one of these pieces will be need to flip. One of these pieces of card you will need to flip over. So if you're going to do it on patterned card, patterned paper, make sure you've got a double-sided piece. But because I wanted to do it in two separate colours so you can see what I'm doing, I'm just going to do it in A4. So there will be some wastage, but if you look at any of our other Stash Buster projects, you'll see that there are ways and means to use up these pieces of card. So grab yourself a pencil, lay your template on your card. In fact, let's do the blue one. On your card like so. And draw around it. And what I will do on the template is I'm just going to make little notches at the ends of the score lines, which will make life much, much easier. Now you may notice, if you watch my videos regularly, that I'm not wearing my reading glasses quite so much. And that's simply because I went to the opticians and I've reached the stage in my life where my short-sightedness is now becoming better because I'm so old my eyeballs are flattening. But it is great because it does mean that I can actually see what I'm doing a lot better. So we'll just draw around this like so. And then use a craft knife and a metal rule to cut these pieces out. And you'll notice on the template, not every line that you think should be completely straight is straight. The reason for that is when you fold things in, it's sometimes easier just to shear a little angle off so that things tuck into other things better. And we don't cut the notches out. All we do is we leave them on the card as a guideline for scoring in a minute. Final cut. So there you have one half of it. And then to score it, I've found the easiest way to do this is if you find the centre mark of your scoreboard, because you're going to be scoring at angles, And if you don't have a scoreboard that's specifically got like a 45-degree angle, you will struggle. And I'm just going to check against my diagram, because I always get this wrong. You need to score. Do we need to score? Yes, we need to score. If you score from notch to notch, by simply lining those notches up on the centre line on your scoreboard, and you want to do that trick of scoring on both sides so that your fold is really flexible. The score lines will be marked on the PDF template, so you can just follow them. And then you won't accidentally score an angle that's not either 90 degrees or 45 degrees to what you want, which is what I'm in danger of doing if I keep talking when I should be concentrating. Last one, I hope. There you go. And then just bend your folds in both directions, like so. Let's just pop this to one side. And then also what you need to do is you need to cut these little notches out. So if you cut the one that's at a right angle just down to the point, and then this one, cut a slot right to the centre of that circle. Because this will be where your rubber band comes into play. And if you then fold this in half and just use your hole punch to cut 2 holes in there. So there you have your piece of card. And what it helps to do at this stage is just to make sure that all your lines are in the correct way. If you push these bits in here, rather like a water bomb base in origami, push them in and just check that these lines line up. Because this one doesn't slightly, I'm just going to manipulate it by hand and then make those folds tighter. So you have one piece here which has this extra tab on the side. Here's some pieces that I cut earlier. That's the same piece. Is this? As I say, when you've drawn out your template, I've designed the template so you can get them on a sheet of 12 by 12 easily. When you've drawn them out, you will have to flip one side over, and you need to stick them together on this tab here so that you have little ears up the top of it. Just get yourself a glue stick. like so. And then the next thing you want to do is you need to glue these triangular pieces. So squeeze it up. And glue them together. And glue them together so that it's the tabs are on the inside of what's going to become the box. Now, as you can see, you can now start to see the basis of your box card. But these pieces here you want to pop in like so before you glue this join. You want to pop them in, they don't want to stay popped in. This join here. And this is what I mean about just double checking the fit of your scores, because it always looks much better if your box is a cube rather than a slightly off centre rhombus shape. And you'll see that the way that it is designed, as you push it together, those little tabs each there will tuck underneath each other. Right, fold these back a minute. And this is where your rubber band comes into play. Now ideally what you want is a rubber band that is, hold on, about 5.5 centimetres unstretched. If you don't have one that's 5.5 centimetres unstretched, I mean this is just slightly bigger, this is about 6. If you have one that's too tight, it will really deform your box. If you have one that's too loose, you'll find that you won't get quite such a good pop-up mechanism. So if your rubber band is slightly too big, rectify the situation by just tying a tight overhand knot in your rubber band. And then what you need to do is just move that glue stick before you throw it on the floor. A little bit fiddly, hopefully you can see it on the overhead camera here. If you take your rubber band and pop it into that notch, down through the slot so that it sits, can you see that? It sits in the hole that you've cut with a hole punch. I don't know if you can see that very well. Trust me, that's what you do. And then just grab the other end of it, pop it in the opposite notch so that it joins the two pieces together, so that it will pop up. Now I've actually made that rubber band too tight. So just bear with me while I take that one out and put in one that is nearer the correct size. Yeah, that will do. But that's what I mean by, if it's too tight, it will deform your box. Now, again, that looks too tight. The reason that looks too tight is because we haven't now put these bits in the top. So flatten it. And glue that tab. Oh. And then also this tab. And then very carefully allow it to pop up. And just make sure that these tabs on the side, oh, sit underneath. There you go. See, it looked really complicated. In all honesty, I thought I was really going to mess that up then. But as luck would have it, everything worked out all right in the end. So there you have. I've stuck that totally to the wrong side, but it's all right because we're going to rectify that in a minute. Yeah, you've got a box that pops up like so. So now you've got that box, you can decorate it. Again, another great stash busting example. Ooh. Your box size, if you use the template at the size that it's in the PDF, you want to cut squares of patterned paper that are about 8 centimetres. Quick tip, if you are lucky enough to have a quilter's rule, it makes cutting accurate squares that are actually square so much easier. And the first thing I'm going to do is cover up that mistake. Because I can guarantee you two will make exactly the same mistake, but you quite simply just disguise it with a piece of patterned paper. And I would recommend that you use distinctively different pieces of paper. To cover your sides. Just managed to cut that completely the wrong size. Hold on. And with a lot of these scrapbooking collections that you get, there's frequently little journaling cards that I don't think anybody can ever possibly use all of the things that you get on these scrapbooking packs. But they're perfect, especially if you're using a set of papers and you want everything to coordinate. They're perfect as a little greeting or a little saying, oh, that went horribly wrong. pop on there. So you would decorate the sides of your box and the back of it in exactly the same manner. And then to do the pieces at the top, you want to cut a triangle that is not only that shape, but is also this shape as well. So the sides of your triangle need to be this slanted edge, which is 11 centimetres square. So cut yourself a piece that's 11 centimetres square. And then cut it in half diagonally. And then with each triangle, if you fold it in half and then fold the points back, you can see you've made the size of triangle that you need. Now you can just finger fold that, you don't need to use a scoring board on it if you don't wish to, but you do need to just stick that centre part together. Do the same here. Again, glue the square that you've created in the middle. Like so. Then open it out and apply glue to the resulting triangle. Pop it on the top of your box. And then in order to get it to stick down properly, if you squash your box up and rub it down really well. Do the same with the other side. And what I would recommend you do is you do give yourself enough drying time for the glue on any of these projects. I am well known for not giving enough drying time. But you know the old saying about boring as watching paint dry. You really don't want to be sitting here watching a demonstration while I'm waiting for the glue to dry. And then it will pop up. Now you'd be hard pushed once your card has been folded, especially if it's been in an envelope for a while, you would be hard pushed to get any of these cards to pop up completely level. But what you can do is when it's on displays, you can just join those two bits up like this. And then you can add a greeting or something similar to the raised areas. But nothing too large. I mean, I would, let's just use this little thing here. Because the larger you make it, the more it will extend above the actual card when it's in the envelope. Now I'm not going to write a greeting on there because my handwriting really isn't the greatest. But what I suggest you do is if you hold something on there and then just pop that box down, you can see exactly how far it will extend above the top of the card. So don't put anything massive that comes out. Just pop it on there so that when it's pressed flat, it just tucks inside and doesn't interfere too much with the pop-up mechanism. So there you go. You can obviously add other pieces to it, you know, hand-cut motifs out of paper. And so this does stick above it, but it's not so bad that it's going to make it a problem to put it in an envelope. And talking of envelopes, you can make matching envelopes to go with your beautiful cards. So they just slip inside and it holds them flat. And this, envelope is made from a 20 centimetre square of card. Actually, I've got time. I'll show you very quickly how to make an envelope. If I've got a piece of, let's use this. 20 centimetre piece of card. Score down 2 opposite sides at 1 centimetre, and if you don't have a scoring tool, you can just use the end of your scalpel. I found scalpels are great multi-purpose tools. They're great for burnishing things, scoring things, and then you want to turn it 90 degrees and score down the middle like so. Fold this, just cut at an angle so that when it tucks in it doesn't hurt too much. I'm having real problems with my words today. Mitre that angle and cut away the excess below the mitre. Like so. Fold in those 1 centimetre tabs that you've got left. Run a bit of glue down there. Scrape off the excess glue with your finger and wipe it on your jeans. And then just fold it down to make a paper wallet. I'm going to trim up that top edge because I've tried to do it in a hurry. I should never try and do things in a hurry. My score line wasn't perfectly in the centre. There you go. And then really I should let this glue dry because I can guarantee now that when I fold my card flat and pop it in the envelope, the strength of that rubber band trying to open this card is going to... Oh no, you're okay. There you go. And then what you can do if you want to seal the top with washi tape or something like that, or stick it inside another envelope before you post it, or just present it to a person like this, so that when they pull it out, it pops up. So I hope I've explained that well enough for you. If I'm honest, I'm not confident that was the best demonstration I've ever done, but if you can follow it, and if you can follow the template that's in the description below, it is really worth having a go at one of these cards because it's just something a bit different. And, you know, everybody likes a little novelty gift, a little novelty card. And once you've done it, and once you've got, as long as your folds and your scores are at 90 degrees or 45 degrees, they do work really, really well. And they are much simpler to make than I've possibly made them look. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you'll join us again very, very soon for something that's perhaps not quite as complicated. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Cheers. If you've been inspired to create, please share your makes with us in the comments section below. And if you've enjoyed videos by the Crafts channel, hit the like button. Want to see more of us? Then click subscribe. See you next time.